A few months ago, Affinity became free. My immediate thought on this move was it cannot take over the creative industry, especially in Japan, unless it adds a vertical text direction feature. Don't get me wrong, I personally liked Affinity version 2 with excellent usability. The developers understood what designers needed. Canva, on the other hand, could never be my favorite. The UX was rather confusing and lacked some essential features, but it had a vertical text feature for a long time. So why not? It could be possible to use a vertical writing. To be honest, the vertical writing feature is not the biggest reason why I don't think Affinity will take over the creative industry. But let me explain about this feature issue first. According to a 2023 interview with Affinity CEO, the vertical text feature seemed almost promised to be introduced in the near future. Meanwhile, Japanese users invented a few workarounds, like creating vertical writing exclusive fonts and a font forge script to build, and a method to manually adjust paragraph or character styles. But well, all these workarounds could only be temporary solutions. As you see, there are so many typography rules to follow. Developing a proper vertical writing feature requires tedious work, and it isn't easy even for $1 million company. We also have a different bookmark, and it's somewhat problematic. Not only vertical writing, but Affinity also doesn't support right-to-left writing. This is another typography feature that has been requested for years, but no progress has been made so far. In fact, the UI is also not compatible with RTL languages. Typing feature aside, I found a big downside of unifying 3 applications into one in its current usage. In short, Affinity consumed much more memory than Illustrator for simple tasks. You can see the impact by opening the same file side by side. Affinity has been a common choice for freelancers and small companies in the Western world. So far, this trend hasn't changed so much. Professionals still recommend this suite mostly to freelancers who don't collaborate with other companies. I thought, perhaps the situation is now different in Russia, since Adobe has been sanctioning the country for years. Not at all. People still recommend Adobe for the same reason. By the way, I do understand some basic Russian, but I don't understand how people manage to use Adobe there. In Japan, well, I see it's treated more like a content creator tool. If you are just stepping up from Canva or if you really use text tool, it's recommended. While performance issues can be temporary and typography issues can remain regional, the nature of design work is not really transformable, even with AI. More often than not, design projects thrive with collaboration. A modern collaboration requires technical compatibility. A long time before Adobe Creative Cloud, we had many more industrial standard design tools. Basically, the more standard tools, the more compatibility issues. Even if you chose to be Team Adobe, you couldn't be completely free from the version compatibility issue. Of course, this issue was much smaller than the software incompatibility. Adobe Suite also covered a wide range of creative fields, so it actually was the most convenient suite available. In 2013, Adobe had finally solved this incompatibility problem with Creative Cloud, then eventually dominated the market. But not entirely. For example, Adobe isn't really dominating the web development field. Figma had beaten XD a long time ago. Now this is a tool you will 100% encounter as any kind of designer related to the web medium. There was also Bracket around the same time as Visual Studio Code became the most popular code editor. Dreamweaver is now integrated with GitHub, but I think the workflow has replaced by modern website platforms and website generators. I see the web development field has a lot of tools coming and going in a short time, but what I'm trying to say is that different creative fields have different niches and industrial standards. Nowadays, everything comes as a groundbreaking innovation, or a threat to your current workflow, job, or whatever stability you want to protect. Now, let's pause for a second. Didn't humanity come across this kind of change every few decades? How realistic is a new tool to take over the whole industry across the world instantly, only because it has a shiny new feature? Yes, it happens, but only when it has enough reasons and evidence to convince people to switch over. So don't panic. Instead, try to have a flexible mindset and skills to thrive in any industrial change. The same applies to your personal life. AI is coming anyway, so yeah, this way you can stay calm and focus on learning the things that will actually be useful or important in the near future.